Hello everyone, I'm Greg Weaver. Welcome to The Audio Analyst. Today, given the sea change advance in performance two recent arrivals have brought to my reference system, I'm pushing other AXPONA and related events coverage to bring you today's conversation. You see, I've recently lost several full days of productivity to listening to my updated reference system. Let me explain. It was just about lunchtime on Monday, April 13th, the day after AXPONA, which had wrapped just 20 hours prior, that Bill Parrish of GTT Audio and Video and Joe Kubala of Kubala-Sosna Research pulled in and parked in my drive. I've known Joe since 2004, shortly after he launched K-S Research, and Bill since about that same time, as Joe had always kindly invited me to his CES wrap dinners, and Bill was also always in attendance. After a nice lunch, the Kronos Perpetual turntable that had arrived several days before the show, which had been sitting in my garage in its shipping containers, quickly sprang into life in my reference system, assembled immediately next to my reference Kronos Pro Limited Edition, and connected to a second input on my DSA Phono 3 Plus reference phonostage. What I'd ask you to consider here is that this allows me to swap the flagship Kronos Audio Discovery RS tone arm, fitted with my reference Atsuro gold moving coil cartridge, in something on the order of 90 to 120 seconds. I can play either turntable and switch between the two inside of 2 minutes, tracking with the exact same arm, cartridge, and using the same alignment geometry. As if that weren't enough, Joe Kubala replaced my select and diverse cable loom with a complete series of his latest flagship Ovation cables, which he introduced and I covered at last year's final high-end Munich event. He replaced the AC cords, the balanced and single-ended interconnects, the loudspeaker bi-wires, and even the power distribution system. This recent change inserts two of the most significant offerings to be introduced to the high-end audio community recently into my reference system, and the resultant sonic escalations were not subtle. First, I'm talking about a world-class turntable using the Kronos patented, proven technology, one that allows listeners to move significantly closer to the musical message encoded on an LP than any other LP transcription system I have ever experienced. You may think I'm being hyperbolic. Rest assured, I am not. Not in the slightest. While no one has heard everything, with over 5 decades in and around this industry and nearly 40 years worth of chronicling my journey, I have heard an exceptionally diverse and wide variety of LP transcription systems. And I'm not alone in my recognition and acknowledgement of the advanced level of performance that the Kronos patented product line is able to deliver. Reviews of any Kronos turntable, from the original Pro LE, which is now my current reference, through my first take on the more affordable Sparta, to the launch of the game-changing Discovery, and now with this examination of the Perpetual, which creator Louis Desjardins suggests offers as much as 95% of the Discovery's benchmark-setting performance. All of them recognize that the Kronos' unique dual-platter counter-rotating design, designed to physically counter and eliminate torque-related noise, results in their exceptionally quiet, stable, and immersive corporeal soundstage performance. When factoring in the advances contributed by the sublime and unparalleled performance delivered with the installation of the full Kubala-Sosna Ovation cable loom, the sonic result has brought an order of magnitude advance in performance to my already remarkably accomplished system. These flagship Ovation cables feature the Kubala-Sosna Optimized 4 architecture, which aims to provide exceptional noise reduction and resolution, resulting in a cable line that has been universally lauded for their extraordinary transparency, exceptional low-frequency detail and definition, and a rather unique ability to balance fundamental and harmonic overtones. Their contributions are so significant that they render a degree of elevated improvement to a system's musical coherence analogous to what one would normally experience only when upgrading a major system component like a source or a pair of speakers. To that end, my von Schweikert Audio ULTRA.9 Foundations have yet to fail to resolve every and any enhancement upstream of them. I have included links to many reviews and the details of my reference system, including the room's treatment, in today's description. And while full reviews of both this remarkable turntable and cabling system, both written and as episodes here on the channel, will come in their own time, I wanted to share this look at just how remarkable the integration of these two products has enhanced my reference system. I am simply astonished with the newfound level of resolution, texture, scaling, pitch definition, especially at the lowest registers, down to about 15 Hertz, extension at both extremes, layering, focus, image placement and size, and soundstage voicing interrelationships. And then there is the much lowered noise floor. Music now emanates from a darker, blacker space than before, having become much richer and more vibrant overall. The results are simply astonishing. Here is that conversation with Bill and Joe. Welcome, everyone. As I mentioned in the intro, we have Joe Kubala.
Hello.
Kubala-Sosna Cables. We have Bill Parrish.
Hello.
From GTT Audio in New Jersey. You guys have certainly seen him a couple of times on the channel. I don't know if this might be your first appearance here, Joe.
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, good, because I don't remember.
There was Munich.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. We talked about something that we're going to talk about again in Munich.
This is the follow-up visit. Yeah.
So, we just had 4 or 5 days of craziness in Schaumburg at AXPONA. This is the day after AXPONA. This is the Monday. These cats were cool enough to drive and stop here with their truck full of toys, and they brought me a couple things. What'd you bring me, Bill? Tell them.
Well, as anyone that watches the channel knows that Greg is a huge Kronos fan. You've owned the Sparta. You currently own the Pro.
Yep.
2 years ago when you were in Montreal with Louie and I for the launch of the Perpetual, I promised you after dinner that we would get a Perpetual.
We were coming home from dinner in the car, and you told me.
I said, we will get a Perpetual in your room someday. Well, today was the day.
Yes,
we used the Perpetual at my room at the show.
At AXPONA.
And then we brought it here, set it up for you, and you've had a pretty good reaction.
I think it was good.
Yeah.
Well, and that wasn't enough, okay? They decided to really bury me, okay? And this gentleman brought me something. What'd you bring me, Joe?
Well, we had some cables at the show. And I remembered Munich, where in Munich we actually introduced our new flagship cable, Ovation. And again, we had talked at Munich about maybe someday there might be an opportunity to get some cables in his system so he could hear what they do firsthand. And so the cables that were in the GTT room,
They are now here.
they are now here.
And it's not some cables, it's your entire system.
It's a full loom. Yeah, it's a full loom. This is the only way to do it. And even from the beginning when we first talked, we agreed it had to be a full loom, not just an interconnect here or a cable. We had to do a full loom, and that's what we've done.
That's the only way, in my estimation,
It's the
to
only-
appreciate what they really do. Aside from that, you're just mixing it with something else.
I want a little salt in my...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your seasoning to taste.
How does it sound with that?
Well,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. I'm not unfamiliar with these sounds, but what is, as you had mentioned previously, when you hear a good system in a show, you really don't know exactly what's contributing what. Whether the advantages you're hearing are all the strength of this product or partially this and that. Doing it here in my room, they're kind enough to help me understand this clearly, because this is a reference that I've lived with from dirt. I mean, this is the system that I've ended up at. It's been since I was a teenager that this is where I am. So changing it here, oh my God. We started doing some of this, and I mean, guys, I was like a child. 15 seconds and I'd hit pause or I'd hit mute and say, okay, I'm hearing this, and this, and you're all like, yeah, that's what you should hear. And it kept going. And between this turntable, which, by the way, I'm using the same cartridge and the same tone arm. I've had the Discovery RS tone arm since its introduction.
Yep.
And I'm using the same cartridge I've always used. We've gotten them set up so that I can literally swap back and forth in a couple of minutes. But that was something special. And then the full loom with the expander, it's ridiculous. The differences that I heard in particular, I know they heard them too because they were behind me, but I had the best seat.
He always takes the best seat.
Well, I do share, but when you're trying to give me toys, things came about very naturally. I mean, I think the first thing I talked about was the layering differences that I was hearing.
That was your first comment.
There was a less, instead of being like, a flat photograph here with another flat photograph here with another flat photograph here. There was more of a smooth, a corporealness of what was going on. It was fabulous. Pitch definition, especially down into the low digits, like down, and these things will hit 16 hertz. But from mid-bass down, the dynamic tension, expressiveness, and pitch definition, okay? The texture and the pitch were phenomenal. We talked about the thing, when it all said and done, the sense of, you used focus, I think I said individuality senses. So the easiest way to express this, when you hear a chorale of, say, 65 voices, like with the Beethoven's Ninth, instead of hearing a massed group of singers, you hear a bunch of people singing together. I mean, you literally have a sense of that expressiveness of all these individual voices, little mouths, all singing together, rather than this congealed lump of sound.
It's almost like you could look to a singer and hear them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's always the case with the instruments too.
Yep.
But it's somewhat more revelatory when you hear a chorale, 60 voices or so singing at once, and you hear individual expression. The space, the dynamism, the scaling was also, I mean, this system always scaled well.
Oh, yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
But the resolution that we're getting now and the scaling and the dynamism, I mean, it's off the hook. It's, we've talked about some of your cables in the past where, you've come a long way. You've done, how many different lines do you have now? Like
A dozen.
A dozen, yeah. So, and I thought realization was it. I really did. I mean, I thought, when I heard your full level realization, I was like,
I thought it was too.
oh my God.
I couldn't believe it when he told me. He was
We hoped it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And the thing that's important for me to make people understand is, Joe, this is not just like, it's a little better. This, and I think I said this in your video, Bill, it's like an order of magnitude better. This is not like, oh, I think it sounds better. This is like, holy shite. Guys, you've got to hear these, because if you've got any sense of what cables can do, and God knows if you've been listening to me since '88, I've been telling people cables are components. And this is, look, I knew it was going to be good, Joe. I knew. Okay, I mean, I've known your work for 20 years. But, dude, this is off the freaking chain. This is phenomenal. And I can't thank you enough for letting me hear it here.
Well, I can't thank you enough for the appreciation of that and the enthusiasm that goes along with it.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what I'm thinking sometimes,
it's
right?
I mean, literally, we dropped the needle on the first song, and it wasn't.
I don't think it was 15 seconds. I really don't think it was.
And then
I play for a few minutes and then stop it again and say, I'm hearing this. And what's funny is every time I told them something, they're like, yeah. The thing I didn't mention is I mentioned at one point that it sounded as if the noise floor had dropped.
Well, we've always tried to.
more of a blackness behind the music, whether that's a correct way of saying it. There was a darker background from which the music emanated from.
And that's one of the key features that allows you to hear the little details that you're now hearing.
The microdynamic resolution,
exactly.
the subtleties, the shading, the things that go on, especially down near the noise floor.
Yep.
But these things have been phenomenal. And that turntable doesn't suck either, dude. I told you.
Pretty good.
Oh, my God. Louis.
That's why I keep one in my studio right where I work at.
Man.
So I can listen to
it. Dude, I got to thank you for following through on, because you did. I remember we were coming home from dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And you leaned, because Louis was driving and he let me sit up front. You were right behind me and you're like, yeah, we'll get you one. We'll get you one.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. Here it is. It doesn't know its way home. It can just stay here. It's okay.
We can take the boxes back with us.
Well, you can put the Pro in the boxes if you want.
If you could store the boxes for a week or two, we'll be
a
back.
week or two?
We'll be back to collect them.
You're going to have to come back and collect them because, dude, this is
in
insane.
A week or two.
This is insane, guys. Listen, I thank you all for watching. Mr. Kubala, thanks for being a buddy and for building such spectacular products.
Thank you, sir.
And for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Parrish, thanks for being the frickin' pusher man that you always are. Dude, I mean, look, let's be honest. You've introduced me to some of the brands that have become my references.
Well, we're using AudioNet Pre-G2 and Maxxess in the system. Yeah.
And I've been a Kronos guy since 2015 when I got the Sparta.
And we'll see if we can convince him to keep the Ovation in his system.
Bastards. I'm retired. I want a fixed income. But no, guys, get out of your way. Go hear this stuff. Call Bill, make an appointment, whatever it takes. You owe it to yourself if you really want to hear. I mean, look, I thought I had I did have a great system. But what I have now, it ain't close. I mean, it's silly good. So, guys, thanks for that. You ruined me, you bastages. Guys, till next time, thanks for watching.
Take care.
Take care.
My sincere appreciation to both Bill and Joe for both their visit and their contributions to my system. Some of you may have seen a similar conversation with Joe and me on Bill's channel, which is also linked in today's description. Now, as I've indicated, both the Kronos Audio Perpetual with its PSCPS supercapacitor power supply and the full loom of Kubala-Sosna Research Ovation cables will be the subjects of full reviews in the near future. And I still have more AXPONA coverage as well as several AXPONA adjacent events like the Von Schweikert and Hear This Dealer Symposium, which was held Thursday, April 9th at Perry's Steakhouse, or the Building Emotions Showcase, hosted by The Voice That Is at the nearby Marriott on Friday the 10th and Saturday the 11th. And if you follow the channel, you will know that my personal health issues nixed any further follow-up installments of my coverage of the Florida International Audio Expo due to my time lost and with the impending AXPONA 2026. And further, though I brought you the remarkable event coverage of the launch of both the flagship Børresen Acoustics M8 Gold Signature loudspeakers and their M880 monoblocks, I still have my much deeper, more revealing experiences of listening to that remarkable milestone system when set up in the Supreme Listening Suite at the Audio Group Denmark factory in Aalborg to present soon. Also in the still to come column are my analyses of the WestminsterLab's Quest line stage using 4 Ray monoblocks in bridged stereo mode, the new amazing SVS PB3000 Revolution subwoofer appraisal, as well as the overachieving entry-level Axxess system from Audio Group Denmark. This entry-level Axxess system includes their Axxess power distribution block and special edition switch, and all associated AC power and Ethernet cables. Featuring the Forte 1, their entry-level all-in-one streamer, DAC, line stage, amplifier. It includes a pair of floor-standing Axxess L3 loudspeakers and speaker cables. Now, to top it off, 5 sets of the Axxess Noir resonance control devices, the Axxess equivalent of the Anzus Darks devices, were placed under the Forte 1, the switch, the power distribution block, and the outrigger feet of both loudspeaker. And here's the kicker. This entire system, all in, comes in for under 20 grand. Some of you may remember my evaluation of the Mobile Fidelity Electronics Master phonostage, the $6,000 overachiever from the mind of Peter Madnick that I chronicled in Positive Feedback's issue 137 in January of 2025. Well, guess what? Maestro Madnick has struck again with the introduction of the Mobile Fidelity Ultra Phono Pro phonostage for less than half the price of the Master Phono at just $24.95. This model sheds some of the features of the Master Phono, like the large front panel VU meters and the current-based or transimpedance input. Instead, it focuses on delivering the exceptional performance of the more standard voltage-based input for moving magnet or moving coil carts, retaining the core architecture developed by Peter for the Master Phono, with its fully discrete JFET MOSFET gain stage and a passive zero-feedback RIAA network. I've only had a short time living with this new preamplifier, but as it has run in, I am really taken with it. Full review to come, of course. Oh, and just yesterday, the latest offering from J.R. Boyclair of WAM Engineering, the guys who make and bring us the wonderful lineup of Wally turntable setup and optimization tools, landed here. This new WallyLoupe, a bespoke magnifying system to streamline and augment cartridge setup, just may be the finest table setup accessory I've ever seen since the creation of the cartridge alignment protractor itself. More on all of these remarkable components and others are coming soon. So be sure you are subscribed and have enabled notifications so you don't miss anything. As always, thank you for taking the time to drop by today. Further information on supporting the channel and my efforts may be found in today's description section or at my companion website, theaudioanalyst.com, where you can find anything I've ever published. Please stay safe and keep the music playing. Till next time, cheers.